Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Deathly Illness Academy.
Cold edition.
Cold edition. We're both in various stages of dying, but here we are, because we're troopers like that or something.
So we apologize if we sound somewhat different than the last one.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be an improvement. I don't know.
Maybe it will be.
Get like 10 comments like, hey, I just have colds all the time. All right. So it's the big soccer game where apparently if they don't mess up, they get to go to the finals or something. That sounds right. Sounds like a thing.
I don't know much about soccer, so.
Yeah, if you lose a lot, you don't go to the finals.
Oh, okay.
I know that. Okay.
Good to know.
The afternoon of the big game, the sun was harsh and the air was heavy. The humidity was almost unbearable. Going outside felt like walking into an indoor swimming pool. It was finally halftime at the soccer match. The score was even, 3-3, but Asagao's biggest rivals, the Moray Fates, were being extremely aggressive. I'm sure it's a thing. I don't know what that's from. One player in particular already got a yellow card and was consistently getting into minor scrapes. So far, no one was hurt, but there was plenty of moments where Asagao might have been able to score had they not been avoiding his risky lunges. It wasn't looking good. PBG was in great form, but stress had taken its toll. His hair was matted with sweat and beads of it rolled down his face. He waved his arms around vigorously, talking to Jeff, who was being just as enthusiastic back.
It doesn't look like it's going very well.
Don't worry, we've just got to believe in the team.
If you say so.
I didn't feel good about this. Not at all. PBG and the rest of the team jogged back onto the field. He got into position this time as the center forward, directly opposing the rogue player from Mirai.
I have a bad feeling about this.
The whistle blew as my turn to me.
If you keep acting like that, you'll drag the team down. Come on, why can't you? PBG!
Ah! Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
PBG was on the ground, holding his leg and writhing in pain. The rogue player stood above him, a smirk on his face.
PBG, no!
The Asagao students in the stand lost their minds. Foul words flew around us. If anything, it seemed a riot was imminent. It's a soccer riot. I know this one. The referee ran out onto the field and spoke to PBG. He shook his head and tried to stand on his leg, only to instantly collapse again.
I don't understand what happened. That player basically tripped PBG's ankles between his feet and like twisted it on purpose. It looked like some kind of judo move.
That was no judo. Finally, a stretcher arrived from the main building along with Mr. McPasta. Have we encountered him before? I feel like that name might have stood out.
I don't think so.
PBG was gently placed on the stretcher and rolled off the field. My heart sunk as I watched him roll past me, his face contorted in pain. How are we going to win without PBG? He's our best player. Jeff can't handle the rest by himself.
I can't stay here. I'm going to check on PBG, okay?
You can't go to the nurse's office. They won't even let you in. I patted him and Mai on the shoulders and stood.
I'll make them let me in.
I couldn't explain why seeing PBG in pain left me feeling so uneasy, but I felt like I was going to be in constant stress until I saw him. What if he was hurt worse? What if his leg was broken? As I scurried to the nurse's office, I tried to keep the worst possibility from my mind, but it kept whispering through like a ghost. PBG wouldn't be able to play anymore. There was no way. I opened the door to the nurse's office myself. It was still and quiet, a far cry from the chaos of the soccer field. The sun was pouring through the open window, curtains fluttering slightly in the breeze. I glanced around for Mr. McPasta, but he was nowhere to be found. PBG's legs formed long lumps underneath the bed, his feet sticking up in the air like flags. It didn't seem like anyone else was sick. I slipped through the curtains that were hung around him for privacy and pulled a stool up next to his bed. He lay still, eyes closed. Was he sleeping? How could he have fallen asleep so fast? Then it hit me. He hadn't been sleeping before this. Of course he fell asleep. In the distance, I heard cheers. I stood and peeked out the window, seeing the Asagao students in a frenzy and the players cheering. Somehow we still managed to win. I sat back down and brushed PBG's hair out of his face. Mr. Rick Pasta obviously helped him clean up a bit, as his face was no longer covered with the dirt and sweat of the game. I glanced at his legs snug under the sheets. I couldn't tell what was wrong. Should I take a peek? That seems like a terrible idea. Oh, we have to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like an awful idea. I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm gonna say we don't look.
Don't look.
What good? I don't see what good can come from it.
It seems like an invasion of privacy.
Well, and I'm also thinking too, like,
what if he doesn't have any underwear on?
That's what I was like. Wow, we're gonna look and let's not do that. I feel like that was a good call because PBG shifted and I glanced at him because he was just waking up. Because we would have gotten caught and he wouldn't have had pants.
Hand in the cookie jar, so to speak.
Is that what they call it these days?
I think so.
Ugh. He blinked a few times and looked at me. Okay, maybe we could have gotten away with it for like half a second. Hana, what are you doing here? The game. Did we win the game? What happened? I glanced towards the open window.
We won.
He scanned my face and frowned. What's wrong? Tears filled my eyes.
I was so worried about you, you big idiot.
I leaned over and hugged him. What? Arms encircled me, arms that were surprisingly strong.
Oh my God, it's the guy from the closet.
Okay.
He looks like the creepiest doctor I've ever seen.
I believe is a YouTuber.
Is he really?
I think so.
Okay.
I might be making this up. If you don't mind. I flung PBG away from me.
Where did you come from?
I've been here the whole time.
What?
PBG, I'm sorry to say that you won't be playing anymore this season. PBG's eyes fell. He didn't say anything. The injury itself isn't incredibly bad, but it will take a few weeks to heal. At this point, the stress of practicing and playing would prevent it from healing properly. If you try to push it, this improper healing will create scar tissue and forever limit the strength and flexibility of your leg. Please do not try to play. Even walking around campus will be more than enough stress. This campus is so poopin' huge. Poopin'? I'm sorry, PBG. I put a hand on his arm and he didn't react.
Hey, it's okay. The team won the game, right? They're in line to do pretty well this season.
Ooh.
You're their captain and you've done a great job of training them, so...
No.
Bad.
A gentle hand rested itself on my shoulder and I looked up at Creeps. I think it would be best if you let him rest a bit.
Yes, sir.
I stood and with one last pat on PBG's shoulder, left. Just as I got to the door, I remembered something.
PBG?
He was crying. I turned back around and left the room, pretending I saw nothing. I couldn't believe this happened to him. This was his worst nightmare. Wasn't there some way I could help him?
I'll take this slide and you can mime the movements while I'm... PBG, are you listening?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? It was the day after PBG's injury. His knee was wrapped in a brace and his ankle was stiffly bandaged to keep it from moving too much. He shouldn't even be walking on it, but insisted on coming to class as if everything was normal.
I'll read this slide and you can do the movements.
Sure. No matter what I tried, it was as if he was on another planet.
Hey, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Are you sure? You can always come talk to me if you need to.
Thanks, Hana. I know that. He sighed. It's fine. I don't have anything to say, really.
Okay, but if you do, I'm here. Here we are, classic boy-girl communication. Girl tries to help comfort boy. Boy won't open up and uses the famous 2-word answer, I'm fine.
Who would do something like that?
Who would do such a thing?
I don't think that's a real thing that happens.
I've tried to outlaw those 2 words in this household. It has not worked.
It's true. I am not allowed to use the words I'm fine. Thanks. The rest of the day passed slowly by. PBG didn't end up getting any better. Mostly he just stared at his desk and tried to move as little as possible. And I wasn't the only one who noticed. Is he thinking in Comic Sans?
It's funny.
Still, there is nothing we could do. In the middle of my worries, I saw a familiar green jacket and bushel of brown hair.
John.
He about jumped a foot in the air. What? What? I'm sorry, I didn't do it. It was a mistake, really. I didn't know he would break like that.
Oh. Did Jax?
Oh, Hana, what's on your mind?
What was that about?
What's on your mind?
I asked you a question.
His eyes narrowed. What's on your mind?
Eep, sorry, never mind. I mean, PBG's been really, really sad since he got injured. It's like the life got sucked out of him. I was hoping there was something we could do to cheer him up.
Yeah, he's been having trouble getting out of bed in the morning. He hasn't even been practicing for the tournament like he's supposed to. At this rate, we'll definitely lose.
I guess, but really, I wanted to make him happy.
No.
This cannot stand. We cannot lose to those hidden block scum. So, what's your idea?
That's why I came to you. Oh my god, Hana, my sister just got back from this huge spa trip. Wait, you have a sister?
I can't believe this.
It's so not, like, fair. I wish I could have totally gone, but she didn't even invite me. What's the point of being related to rich people when they don't even let you do the cool things?
Yeah.
That's it. What is? We should take a trip to...
I paused and leaned in to whisper.
A hot spring. I think she short-circuited everything. Do you, like, hear something?
What's that dust cloud in the distance?
I was like, it's gonna be Jared. What the...
Did somebody say fan service?
No.
I just realized, has he always had like his tie hanging halfway down?
Yes, he has. Yes. What? I'm so excited. I'm so glad everyone could come.
I looked around at Jared and Mai's excited faces and the dissonantly sad PBG.
All right.
I'm sure this is going to be a great time, but of course, any time spent with you two lovely ladies is bound to be great.
Oh, Jared.
Oh, Jared. So has everyone been to this hot springs before? I've been to another, but never this one. I didn't even know we had one in Higibana, but I guess it's pretty cool that we do.
I know about most hot springs in the nation, but this one seems to have been just recently built. There's an inn attached to it and everything.
Oh, that's our stop. Let's go.
We entered the general inn area and made our ways to the hot springs, excited. Mai and I split off to the ladies' side while PBG and Jared headed towards the men's area. As Mai and I cleaned off, we chatted animatedly about the trip.
I can't wait to see Jared with his shirt off. Like, this was the best idea, Hana, ever.
I tried not to stare at her body, tried very hard not to compare it to my own. I mean, I'd always known that Maya was a bit bigger in some areas, but I never bothered to.
Is this why we said fan service?
I think so. Well, it wasn't important. Still, I stared down at my boyish frame and frowned.
I've been planning, like, for this day, Hana. I am so ready. What do you mean?
He's so cute.
What do I mean? This is a golden opportunity. The perfect opportunity to capture my Jared's heart. I got, like, a whole plan set out and totally everything. You're not going to do anything that could get you into legal trouble, right?
What?
Girl, what kind of fool do you take me for?
I don't even know what she's getting at there.
Maybe it's illegal in Japan to go into the opposite, like, dressing rooms or something. I don't know.
That's what I mean. I feel like that's so random. Like all the illegal things that you could do. All right.
Anyways, are you ready to go? Yeah.
I wrapped a towel around myself and stepped out to the hot springs.
It's so nice in here.
Maya immediately got into the water, but I hesitated. Was she going to take off her towel? I wasn't prepared.
Wait, I forgot something in there. Okay, like, hurry back.
As I turned away, I noticed Maya unclip her hair from her head and do a dramatic hair flip. Who was she doing that for? It was only us here. I ran back into the changing room, standing against the back wall. Calm down, Hana. You've seen naked women before. This ain't no big deal. It's not like Jared and PBG are out there. They're not going to see you, and Maya's not going to judge you, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I took a deep breath.
Strategy is always.
I took a deep breath. I could do this. I could totally do this. I stepped back out to the hot springs, a smile on my face.
Sorry about that, but I'm back.
Oh, Hana. Dun dun dun. What? Come on in. The water's great.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out something. Like, is she covered up with a towel?
That's what it looks
water?
like. Yes. What they had to keep their. Like,
I also like how they're making googly eyes at each other.
Right.
Jared and Mai. All right. Anyways, what are you doing in here?
It's a communal hot spring for both sexes. I had no idea until we found Maya out here. I glanced at Maya and was blinded by a bright flash. When it faded, I realized it had come from Jared, who was somehow sitting contentedly next to her and staring into her eyes. Oh my god, they were only wearing towels.
Oh, so they are wearing towels.
They were basically naked.
No. My opinion is it's like, there's probably still more clothes than a bathing suit.
Right?
Maybe not on the guy, but the girl at least.
No, for guy, because that would still like probably go down past your knees. So yeah.
Okay.
Although I would say it's definitely more precarious, for sure.
I will have to say though, as a teenage girl, that might freak me out more than.
Wait, which one?
Like, I'd rather wear a bathing suit than wear a towel.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the towel would be more precarious. Like that that is a dicey situation.
Sorry, apparently I missed that word. Selective hearing right now, man. What I have?
How is that different?
I have earbuds in one ear and then I can't hear out of my other ear.
What? You only listen to half of what I say usually anyway. So.
Oh, that's so mean. Internet, you heard it. He's being mean to me tonight.
Oh.
But I'm sick.
No fair. I'm sick too.
All right, we'll half sick each other. How's
okay.
that?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. We've come to an agreement.
All
We
right,
really just do this to air out our grievances.
pretty much.
PBG seemed to come to this realization at the same time as me. His eyes grew wide and a blush came over his face. Don't you want to come in? Not that you have to or anything. I'm...
Sure. I'll come in.
I stepped into the hot springs slowly, conscious of the fact that each step brought me closer and closer to a basically naked PBG. I held the bottom of the towel so it wouldn't float as I got in, and I noticed PBG avert his gaze. Anyway, so... how are you guys feeling? He directed this to Mai and Jared, but they were completely out of it. There was no getting anything from either of them. Finally, I was in. The spring was really small, wasn't it? PBG was really close to me. Like, really close to me. I had a vice grip on my towel. There was no room to sit next to Mai and Jared, so I sat opposite them. PBG, standing in the center of the hot springs, looked around and then started to come towards me. But mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead.
He came closer to me, and closer to me, and closer. Finally, he was next to me, and he started to sit on the rocks next to me. Started to. He never made it.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, no. As he was sitting, he bumped my arm, and my grip on my towel loosened. Oh, sorry.
Oh, God, no.
Oops.
Hana!
All at once, a giant gush of blood came flooding out of PBG's and my noses.
Did they bump heads? Ah!
What the hell? What is going on?
Oh, it's like everywhere. The water is turning to blood. It's the second coming.
PBG, come back. Hang in there, man. He's floating. He's doing the dead man's float. Oh, God, PBG.
We're losing her. She's losing consciousness. Hana!
I awoke to Mai hovering worriedly over me.
Where am I? This is one of the inn rooms. We rented one for a little bit.
I glanced around. It was a standard Japanese-style inn room, nice and neat, but it smelled of fresh orange peels. Mai was eyeing me as if looking for signs of an illness.
What's wrong? How did I get here? Do you, not remember? Not remember what?
There we go.
I didn't think it would, be this bad, but it was so traumatic that you don't even remember it. It's probably best not to tell you. What happened to me out there? Hana.
Mai put a hand around my shoulder.
There are, some things in this world you're just not meant to know. But don't question God's blessings, Hana. Eep. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, can I come in?
PBG?
For some reason, a well's worth of embarrassment washed over me. Mai glanced at me, then told PBG to come in.
Hey.
Hey, Mai. Hey, Hana. Glad to see you're up again. Do you mind if I speak to you alone, Hana?
Say no more. Plus my Jared poos out in the hallway.
Mai stood and crossed to the hallway, glancing at us over her shoulder as she did so.
Play nice, you two.
She winked, then shut the door. He was still shirtless. He sat down in front of me and looked at me, still shirtless. I tried to look anywhere but his chest, anywhere but... Wow, this was a really small room. And it was super hot in here. Super hot.
I swear she's a little ADD.
I couldn't breathe.
Awkward.
I know you've been worried about me lately.
Oh.
I glanced away. I'm sure you already know, but soccer is really important to me. One of the most important things. It's been driving me crazy that I haven't been able to play. I can't even attend the practices without having the entire team tell me to leave them alone. But it's been my life at Asagao. Soccer's how I made friends after you left, how I gained confidence in myself. Without it, I didn't know what I would do. I was going crazy and I was getting depressed. But that was no reason to ignore you and throw myself a pity party. I was stupid. I'm sorry for worrying you so much. And thank you.
What for?
Well, I usually feel like I'm a joke to people, but when I'm with you, I feel like I'm more than that. You understand me. You make me feel like I matter and like you take me seriously. So I thank you.
You're a wonderful person.
PBG threw his head back and laughed.
All I can think of is that Lisa that says that you're a wonderful person.
Well, you're a wonderful person, Allison. There's no shame being second to you.
Yep, that's it.
Well, shucks.
No, I'm serious. It was thanks to you that I could feel at home here. You showed me what it was like to have a real, true friend. Someone who genuinely cares about me. Thank you for making my school life so wonderful.
Well, you're welcome. Anytime.
Do you think...
Yeah, I flushed.
Do you think we could keep growing together for the rest of our lives? Seems like a pretty deep comment for a teenager, but I know it's cheesy, but you're an important friend to me, and I don't want to lose you again.
He leaned over and pulled me into a hug. I wrapped my arms around him, smiling contentedly. Of course we can.
Yay!
A few seconds went by, and then I realized something. PBG was still wrapped in just his towel, and so was I. It was skin on skin, just a towel separating us. As the realization hit me, my mouth went dry. I was too embarrassed to speak or move. PBG released me and I let go of him. Man, I'm really glad we came to that conclusion.
I can't control the volume of my voice.
But I think I should go now. He stood and sprinted across the room, flinging the door open.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Hey.
Did we hit? No, there we go.
PBG sprinted past Jared and Mai, who fell away from the door with a crash. PBG, wait. Jared chased after PBG, leaving Mai and I alone. She crawled to me from across the room like some kind of demented bug.
Like, what happened? What happened? Tell me.
What happened is...
Oh, no.
We held the episode.
Oh, no.
In order to save and make sure that things don't completely crash.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I would cry.
That would suck. All right, so we're going to stop it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, do please like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.